All right, welcome back at 6:14 here. The critters are invading this spring. Many of us have been fighting off crickets, roaches, and more as the weather heats up and the little bugs head inside looking for some water, some cool air. Jay Lee Hill is with ABC Home and Commercial Services. He's just outside our studio this morning. Thanks for coming to the studio, Jay Lee. I think we could use your help. I think we've seen one or two around the newsroom here. What is up with the crickets this year? Are they more this year? What's going on?
Well, we're having a little bit of influx with crickets right now due to the moisture that we had early on in the season. So they're coming out.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a wetter year, and so they are all over the place. You know, we had one fly through the studio yesterday here. I mean, a lot of people are really facing a lot of crickets, and then when you crush them, they kind of stink and they smell. They're not really dangerous, right? But how do they get inside?
They're harmless. Well, what they're doing, they're coming into seams. They'll cross the threshold. Any cracks or, any openings that they can get in, they're going to get in.
Man, we're looking at some video from other years. You remember a couple of years ago, even they turned off the lights at the UT Tower in August for a couple of weekends just to reduce the number of crickets there. Is that a good solution, do you think? People turn down their porch lights during the nighttime?
Definitely a good solution. If you can turn your lights off, that's going to drop the population because the bugs are going to attract to the light.
Yeah, a lot of bugs do, I suppose, too. I mean, what's your best prevention plan here, other than turning off the lights, obviously, that doesn't involve, a big, expensive monthly contract? What can we do day to day to get rid of these things?
Well, day to day, first and foremost, of course, calling ABC to come out and do a treatment. Of course, turning off the lights, keeping your grass trimmed, all of those things work.
And you mentioned it's been a wet season. What about the mosquitoes this year? Are you dealing with them as well? I mean, I got my backyard, and I've got some trees in the backyard, but really, they seem to be all over the place.
Right now, you definitely want to keep the moisture down. If you have any standing water, dump the water. Make sure your neighbors don't have any standing water. If you have neighbors gone out of town and it rains, just kind of check out, make sure there's no standing water.
Yeah, and there's an issue with West Nile virus maybe this year. Is that always a threat here in Texas?
Of course, always.
Yeah, and so we've obviously got to look out for that. I mean, ultimately, though, is it just something that we have to deal with this time of year, or right. Can we expect this to kind of continue into August and September?
Well, actually, it should die off here. Once the temperatures rise, it should die off. We're having the influx due to the mild temperatures that we're having right now.
Yeah, and so really it kind of comes down to, I don't know, just kind of dealing with it for now. As you mentioned, keeping the lights down and obviously calling for some professional help if the bugs get out of control, right?
Yeah, you can call professional help, or you could also buy product over the counter. But, of course, if you do that, make sure you go by the label.
Yeah, good advice. Hey, Jay Lee Hill, you're with ABC Home and Commercial. Thanks for stopping by the studio. As I mentioned, we could probably use your help here this morning. Appreciate you coming by.
Thank you.
All right.